Igneous rocks eventually weather, erode, and break into smaller rocks, pebbles, sands, and sediments. Winds and water can carry these rock particles hundreds of miles from the original rock. For example, these sand dunes were created by sand particles that were carried hundreds of miles through a mountain valley. Rivers like the Mississippi deposit millions of tons of rocks and sediment in the ocean each year. Some of the minerals carried in rivers and streams actually break down to a point where they dissolve into the river water. These small rocks, sands, sediments, and dissolved minerals, in turn, eventually form a second major category of rocks, sedimentary rocks. As layers of sand and sediment build up, the weight of the lower particles increase, and the particles which make up each layer are slowly glued together by dissolved minerals, pressure, and time. These huge rock formations in the Utah desert were once sand dunes, not unlike the ones we saw earlier. Because they build up as one layer of sediment is deposited on top of another, sedimentary rock formations are often stratified or divided into distinctly different layers, like this rock formation on the California coast. The walls of the Grand Canyon also show stratification. Often trapped within these layers of sedimentary rock are the fossil remains of plants and animals that were buried and preserved in layers of sediment. This stratified record of the past provides scientists with one of the keys to understanding the history of the Earth. While fossils are occasionally found in other types of rocks, the vast majority are found in sedimentary rock. There are various types of sedimentary rock. Conglomerates, which result when larger rocks and pebbles are joined together. Sandstones, which have a rough texture and are formed when sand particles are fused together. And shale, which has a smooth texture and is formed from very fine silt and clay sediments. The dissolved minerals that glue sediments together often also provide sedimentary rocks with unique colors. Reddish and rust-colored sedimentary rocks indicate that the minerals holding the rocks together contain iron. White and gray hues indicate silica or lime-based cements. It is not uncommon to see rocks within the same formation being held together by different mineral glues. Sedimentary rocks can also be formed in a number of other ways besides the depositing of sediments by wind and water. For example, rock salt, gypsum, and limestone form when minerals dissolved in the water of a lake or ocean are separated from the water either through evaporation or some type of chemical process. The salt flats that cover much of the western Utah desert are a result of the evaporation of part of the Great Salt Lake. The stalactites and stalagmites, often found in caves, are the result of lime deposits left behind by the slow dripping of groundwater containing dissolved lime from the top of the cave. Another way that sedimentary rocks form is through the decay of huge deposits of plant and animal remains. Coal, which is a sedimentary rock, is formed by layers and layers of dead plant material building up on top of one another in marshes and swamps, and then being covered up by layers of other types of sedimentary rock like limestone. That explains why coal deposits are nearly always found between layers of sedimentary rock. The shells of various marine animals are high in lime, and large deposits of shells may in time become cemented together to form a fossil-rich type of limestone.